This was back with a quick tutorial for you guys. Someone had asked about the fence that was created in Shogun, so I said I would do a quick tutorial on those. Actually, it is going to be pretty quick, but it's pretty easy. You could use it two ways. I did do a tutorial a little bit on this with the garden that we made in Log Cabin, but pretty much you can go two directions. Actually, let's start with how we did it with the garden. You're going to come into walls, come down to the half wall section, and you're going to grab the umber half wall. And then you're going to grab fences. You're going to grab the plank railing number 1. And you're going to put that on more on the inside. If you're facing, like this is going to be the outside right here where you're standing, and then this is going to be the inside of the fence. You're going to want to put that railing more on the inside. And that's plank railing number 1. You may have to use your nudge. And you're going to put 2 of those next to each other. Make sure they're flush depending on how level your ground is. And then you'll put another umber half wall on the other side. Put the torch in so you can see it. It should look like this. It's going to be flush on the back. Right there, you see that? And then it's going to be even. Should be even up top. That's very important. Okay, and then now we'll come back to building parts. You're going to come to fences again, and we're going to grab rustic railing number 2. And this as well, you're going to want to nudge it back, so it's flush in the back. You see that? How it's flush all the way around? Let me put the torch back on. Actually, let me move the torch over here. It'll be easier. That way I can just scroll off of it. You can see now how it's creating extra decorative ledges and stuff by making sure it's pushed towards the back. Okay, from here, what you can do also now is go to roofs. So that's one way to have it, just like that. And then now how we're utilizing it in Shogun is I went into roofs, and I'm using this one right here, the ridge number 2. There's ridge number 3, which is a little bit longer. You want ridge number 2. And you're making sure it's centered to the posts, not the railing. Because you can see on each side how it's the right amount on the left and the right. And if I remove the post, just to show you, you see how it's not. So don't get caught up on whether it's even on both sides with that. You're going for the post. So sometimes it is better to put the umber walls in first, if it helps you, if you're struggling with trying to make sure it's lined up correctly. I've done these a few times already too, where I can just nudge it, make sure it's right. If not, I just basically destroy it and redo it again. Not a big deal. Okay, let's do one more. So again, we'll come back off that post. Plank railing. Again, make sure, I don't think I mentioned this in the first one, but make sure these slats are facing towards you. And the lighter shade of brown is facing the inside. So this is the outside. It's the darker brown, and then the inside is the lighter brown. Okay? Go back. Grab your rustic railing number 2. Okay? And then we'll put a post. And then Dizzle just turn these so they're facing each other, alternating. And there you go. That's how 2 look. And then what I did was I removed these for Shogun. Came into building parts, go into walls. You're going to scroll down till you find gate wall number 1. It's up to you. I'm going to put one down just so you can see. But there's 2 sides of it. So that if you're going to use this a lot, like it's all the way down like how I did it, just make sure you're consistent with, there's one piece, the one side of it that has the 2 notches, and then one side of it that's flat, okay? So just be cautious of that when you're putting those down. It's still going to work either way, but it's just a matter of being consistent. And there you go. That's, again, centered with the post, or with this, and not the railings, because you will be off-centered. Let me get something in to eat really quick here. All right. Then we can knock this out. Again, if you're comfortable without having the umber post, again, I was just showing you that you could do this wall 2 variations. There you go. It's starting to create the look from Shogun. Another way of doing is snapping to the previous post and then just nudging it down. Then you'll know for sure it's centered. Okay. And then what I did, when I was coming up with turns, originally I did not have these pieces in there. I was just I would take this out and then use the umber half wall, but I messed around with it a little bit more because someone had mentioned about using a corner type piece, and I came up with this going into supports. And then there's 2 of these. If you're doing the one on the left, you want to have that one go first, so it's facing out that way like this. And then you can use either one of these. I don't think it matters. And I just basically snap from the post and then use my nudge and wait till it turns green. Right there. So now I know it's centered to that. Then I go back in and I'll grab the opposite one. So again, you can snap off of that and then just nudge it. And then in between here is actually what I'm using is rustic railing number 1. This one is rustic railing number 2. This is number 1. Oh, I went too soon. And again, to keep that look, I go on the inside a little bit. I don't go on the left side. I go more on the right side. And you can put 3 of these. That one's off. I can see it. Actually, no, it's not. Look like the shadow was off. Again, just stack it 3 high on this side. And that's how you'd make the turn. And then now from here, you can go back. Sometimes I use these posts, and sometimes I don't. It depends what I'm trying to line up with on the other side. It might be off by one square, and usually that's the difference, and I just won't use this. I'll come right off of the this post with the roof piece instead of this. But again, you're going to have to experiment a little bit. It's like right here, you see how I did that? Because otherwise, it would have been all over here. We would be 1 square too many. So that's exactly the point I'm trying to make right there. I didn't use this piece this time. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And then you would just continue. You would just do that, wrap the fence around. Again, you would grab a post. Just like that. 2 of those. Post. Railing number 2. And you cap it off with the roof ridge. Okay? So there you go. That's how Dizzle came up with his fences in Shogun. Again, utilize the first part of it. The first part of it is from log cabins. We use that in the garden. And then just build upon that to make it something to use in Shogun. So I hope that helps. I know that's what you were asking for. And hopefully you utilize it in your village. All right, guys, really quick. I had forgot that I also put the tassels on the end of these, on the corner pieces. And I did not record that. So coming back in really quick. And I usually line them up with this piece right here. Those are under supports as well. You can use either one. If you don't like the tassels, you don't have to. You might have to use your nudge on this one. And you're just going to put 1 on each side. Again, this is optional. There's just a little extra touch that I was adding to the corners. There you go. Sorry about that.